I hope you've got your seatbelts fastened, because now we're moving into some of the really cool editing type improvements in Liquid Edition. And the first thing we should talk about are subtracks and matte tracks. So what are subtracks and matte tracks? Well, I don't see any subtracks going on here. We're talking about a video track or an audio track, whatever we decide that track is going to be based on the audio or video turned on. Now if I right click on name 5 here, and by the way, I can change that by choosing rename, and let's call that V1, just because that's a lot nicer looking. More impressive to the clients. And if I right click on V1 and come on up a little bit, you can see add matte track and add subtrack. So let's see what happens when I choose add subtrack. And there we go. Now you can see over here on the left side of the timeline, I've got this minus button, and if I click on it, it takes away the subtrack, but it also indicates with the plus that there's something there. And this is very similar to in Windows Explorer when you're looking at a folder that has several folders within it. Let's jump over to Windows Explorer and let me show you what I'm talking about in there. I hold down my Windows Start button, hit the E button on my keyboard, and here's Windows Explorer. And now you can see there's my individual hard drives with pluses next to them. If I click on that, now the plus is a minus, and the drive contents have now expanded out so I can see each individual folder. Same kind of thing that we've got going on over back in Liquid Edition. So now I've got a subtrack. This is similar to containers, but the beauty here is it's all on the timeline. I don't have to jump in and out of containers. Everything's available to me, visible here. And if I start to get a little too many tracks going on, I can always switch to the timeline only view and expand everything out. And if I've got the Liquid Edition Pro box, then I could have this view and still see what I'm playing back video-wise on my TV screen. All right, let's go back to where we were. So subtracks allow me to create multi-layered effects right here and group them together and then close them down so that I've still got a nice clean timeline, and it makes it easier to work with. Let's move on to matte tracks now. So let's delete this subtrack by right-clicking here and collapsing the level. And now it's gone. All right, so now video 1 is just video 1. It doesn't have any subtracks connected to it. However, what if we wanted to do a matte track, or what's commonly referred to as a track matte? Again, right-click on the V1, go up to matte track. And now we've got something similar to a subtrack, but it's greened out like this, indicating that this is a matte track instead. Now I'm going to go over to my imported titles here, scroll down to the bottom of the list, grab Sequoia, click, drag, snap to, release, and you see already what's happening up there. You can see now that automatically the letters are cutting a hole to show the video, and what's really bizarre is the letters are underneath the video. And this seems a little backwards to me because the hierarchy within Edition is the top layer always comes first, and that's kind of what I'm thinking. My graphic is covering up the background video, and then I'm cutting the hole through the letters, as you can see here. And in a linear editing world, that's the way we would think of this, but here in the computer nonlinear world, things are a little different. So what's great about having this matte track here is I could add a 2D editor, animate it over time, so it moves and I zoom in, say right through the U. But again, this is the overview section. If you want to see this in depth, take a look at the subtracks and matte tracks section of this training DVD.